You know, these girls lost their father, wife lost her husband, and it was in one of the cruelest ways that could ever possibly happen. A sense of powerlessness, which was felt by not just that family, but everybody yesterday, was incredible. But thinking about it from the poor wife's perspective, imagine the powerless feeling that you have. You know, after the shock really sets in, the only thing going through your head is, my God, what now? My God, what now? Horrendous. And I know you guys in the Crucible crew. I know you guys all watched the Zoom in. I got that within a couple of minutes of this event from somebody who was there. I knew instantly looking at it that, I mean, Connor counterpoints. Remember, he DM'd me and he's like, "Do you see that one?" Yeah. He's like, "There's no way." And I said, "Yeah, I know." Just god awful. Aside preaching tolerance and kindness is the first to act ghoulishly. Stay safe, Wilson's not one step back in 1SB. Lord, grant us the strength to combat the horrific powers at play in this world, and may the good overcome evil over on the R side. Thank you. Much love. Stay safe, brother. Will do. Dark Helmet says, as a new Christian, I was saddened and angry yesterday. These are soulless monsters. Just keep praying for his family. Remember Charlie. Many of us here didn't agree with all of Charlie Kirk's politics. But that doesn't really matter, does it? The reason that this became and has become such powerful symbolism, exactly for the reason that you took kind of the epitome of the family man. He was tall. He was charismatic, making a difference. And he valued the immaterial over the material. All of the hallmarks of great leadership were there and demonstrated over and over. Whether you liked how the message that he had was disseminated, you can't take away from the fact that he was a very skilled leader and diplomat in disseminating that message. Period. And kind of the stun lock position here for everybody, if you really want to put it into words, is what a horrific waste that such a man can come along and build all of that great political infrastructure representing the views of millions and be taken away by a single act of cowardice. And he deserved better. And he deserved justice. And that was unjust. And so, in your gut, it's gut-wrenching. And it should be. The gun control nuts, how do you regulate a Mauser bolt action? Gun's over 100 years old. Yeah, exactly. Made this point earlier. Oh, this is about too many of the boom boom sticks on the street. And it's like, bro, come on. What other event was JFK maybe? When's the last time you saw the type of public reaction? I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in my entire lifetime. Not since I've seen this sort of public outrage. Because it's outrageous. Okay? They brutally that man. That poor man, they brutally him in front of his wife and his kids and thousands of people. Horrifically. And it's like, these lefties come out and they're just like, the left doesn't do stuff like this. What do you mean? This doesn't have anything to do with left-wing rhetoric and calling this guy a fascist lunatic who's trying to take over or take everyone's rights away and enslave them and put them in camps and no more immigrants and blah, 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 and they're going to take over the planet. You you. That was all the rhetoric from all of these people. For how many years? Charlie Kirk's in. I've heard Vosh call Charlie Kirk. I've heard him say it. Okay? I've heard these people call him that. I believe Parker was 25 feet from Charlie when this happened. Maybe it woke him up. No, it didn't wake him up. It didn't wake him up, and I don't believe those for a second. I don't think they give a shit. Remember, elections and political power in democracies, it's about numbers. And Kirk was able to reach out and get those numbers together. Many of us on the dissident or Christian right, Christian nationalists, Christian populists, and the like, we hit a little harder on many of these topics. Can't always reach as many people inside of those. You need somebody who's able to be a bit nuanced on that side. We're on the same side, but you got to have that right type of person to be nuanced in that angle of things as well. And Kirk was basically perfect for it. Daily breakfast for 5. Would you say people like Destiny are at the mercy of their own statements? That guy should be, dude. He's either crazy, stupid, or has got balls of steel because I mean, I don't even think I need to elaborate. But holy that guy. There was a bunch of people lecturing me because I showed the footage of what happened to the guy on Rumble earlier. They were like, man, don't do that. I don't want to see that, this and that. I get that. But, you know, I actually could watch that way easier than I can watch the picture of his little girls running up to him and giving him a big hug and him holding him. That's like 10 times more devastating to watch. That's like 10 times more devastating for me to watch that. Charlie Kirk Day, it's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Kirk Day. If we can have a Martin Luther King Day, why can't we have a Charlie Kirk Day? King, who was the architect of civil rights, according to his followers. Martin Luther King, who led, many large civil rights marches. Charlie Kirk, also what you would consider a civil rights champion for speech, especially on the right. You can have a Martin Luther King Day. I want my Charlie Kirk Day. Give me the Charlie Kirk Day. We'll have a drink to Charlie Kirk. It's a horrific thing that happened, and may him and his family, who are still here, find peace. And it's going to take a long time. It's going to be a readjustment. It's a horrific thing.